pray promising promising students. Can you see the PowerPoint presentation? Can you see the paper I present? Okay, thank you. Um, I was talking about the need of development. Okay. Development is essential because it has the potential to provide all sort of things that we need to sustain our life. Okay, but apart from that, okay, material requirement is there for the sustenance of our life. Apart from that, sometimes we need, our freedom or our, democratic life, democratic right, such as to express our opinion and to exercise our choices uh, throughout our life. Okay, you may like to follow particular religion, you may like to have particular type of food item, or you may like to settle in any part of the world. Okay, if somebody deprive them, then if you are deprived for any sort of reason by somebody, then you think you are in your, though you are in a open space, still you will feel as if you are leading a imprisonment life. Okay, so that is not desirable in case of human life. Okay, and I will give you one example. Okay, our neighbor country, that is China Republic, um, China, communist China. Okay, in that country, I mean, last 40, last 50 years, it has grown exponentially economically. But people in that country are not that much, they are not allowed to express their opinion, like, the space available in a democratic country, like in Western European countries, or in, like, even in India, we have relatively better scope to express our opinion and to, take part in the government policy decisions, which is not available in case of the communist countries or some authoritarian countries. Okay, development is underdeveloped. In that, development. The other aspect is, those countries who have, more access to production and distribution and market, to, sell those things, and capital for further investment. You can those are things, those are the developed countries. Underdevelopment means where there is no such facilities, no resources for the generation of further, income, no resources for the investment, etc. You will feel, you will experience those things. Like, even in India, many region, okay, many state are underdeveloped. Why we call underdeveloped? Because we do not see relatively, all sort of activities, all sort of economic activities as we see in our metro cities. If you have visited Delhi or Mumbai or Chennai or Kolkata like metropolis, you experience there better opportunities for livelihood, better opportunity to seek better, scope for learning something new ideas, to learning for new ideas to enhance your potentialities, which is not available in some, some of the peripheral state, like, our northeastern state, or in like state like in Chhattisgarh or Jharkhand or Odisha. These states are lacking such things. Okay, and these states are mostly, um, dependent on other state for livelihood some extent. Okay, during this, calamity periods. Okay, lakhs of people, they, they came back. from those matricities you have experience, you might have experience, some of your near or dear might have, the experience hardship while returning from those metro cities to their native village. Okay, that is the aspect. Okay, the the contrasting feature of development and underdevelopment in international politics. I know you must have studied about the center and periphery ideas. Okay, in a, uh, uh, in any in international system. Okay, now the international system is mostly run by the notion of capitalistic model. Okay, we have a global system of production, distribution, and net, entirely it is working as a chain. Okay, one and the international economy is based on specialization of specialization of production, distribution, etc. And you would see how the relatively poor nations, like third world countries like India, we have huge resources, natural resources, which is essential for the um, production. Okay, supposing um, in India we have huge reserve of iron ore, okay, and bauxites and chromites, like some few others minerals. Okay, but we don't have that much potential, capital. We don't have a huge investment capital. Okay, which is essential for the production and value addition of these things. Okay, so we what do in this, in a globalized environment. Okay, industry from other countries, they explore these resources from these countries, third world countries, and they take to their native place, and they through value addition, they and through processing, through industrial processing, they make it more usable. And when they return back, okay, they return back as a finished product to other countries, they gain huge economic advantage out of those things. And this process create mismatch of income generation, as we transport primary products, or unfinished products. Okay, which cost is very less. And when we import something from other countries, okay, there is industrial, it may be industrial item or finished product, we have to give more money to them. In that, this situation create income disparity, which resultantly in a later on create a dependency situation. Okay, in our net national income, day by day it reduces systematically, and their net national income grow exponentially, and which they get richer and richer, and we get poorer and poorer in income, relatively. That is a uh, reality in the present world. Okay, next moving to, that is the reality today. And Sorry, it got stuck. I think because of some problem. Okay, now I'm back. Um, okay, so can you hear me, student? Am I audible now? Okay, thank you. So I was discussing development under development. The next one is development as a freedom. Hmm. Okay, with all necessary items, gather around you, can you still lead a happy life? Hmm. Suppose if somebody, lock you in a golden temple, okay, with all necessary food items or essential for your lives, I think nobody would be happy. Okay, because we need freedom to express our opinion, etc. That I was discussing. Okay, so you know, as we wish, okay, to lead that kind of life, okay, and being deprived of that thing, yeah, life would be very miserable or very frustrating, and that is not, nobody wish to lead that kind of life. Okay, now that is, you know, okay, that is why considering the importance of, freedom, many aspects of our life that has been termed as a basic right or fundamental rights, as you know, you know, particularly you being a student of Indian, political system, how fundamental right, like right to life, economic right to, economic activities, or spiritual, like, spiritual right to freedom of religion, freedom of expression, and all those are given in a fundamental, given to you as a fundamental right. Okay, the other thing, this cannot be, the realization of those right cannot be possible if the machinery, government machinery, which is there to look after those things. Okay, in case of any disturbance to you, it is the responsibility of the government to protect your interest. Okay, and that government should work in a transparent manner, and it need to ensure security from all kind of unnecessary disturbances. Development as sustainable development. We discuss about the development. Okay, for our material requirement, for our financial development, we may simply just keeping one mind that we can explore the natural resources, exploit the nature, and we can build upon huge resources. Okay, resultantly, the side effect of this huge exploitation of natural resources, okay, sometimes, okay, there is a landslide in the mining area, or there is also unseasonal rainfall because of the pollution, etc. There is also acidification of seas, where seas are also losing its potential to produce resources. Okay, fish like resources, they are depleting day by day. Okay, and sometimes we use pesticide to enhance our production. Okay, as we use more pesticide and more chemical fertilizer to enhance our economic growth. Okay, resultantly, what in long run, it is, leaves its bad impact on the soil. Okay, and resultantly, what happened? Uh, you know, uh, its productivity is decreasing, yeah, year by year. Okay, and if in order to produce more thing, we also apply more fertilizer, etc., and which also further deteriorated the soil health condition. Okay, it is happening everywhere. Okay, and considering thing. Okay, not this is, the idea of sustainable development, though it got the focus attention of the global community in the later part of the 20th century. However, before that, the father of nation Mahatma Gandhi and Western thinker Marx, Horkheimer, and Theodore Adorno, such like personalities, they realize the essentiality of protecting our nature. Okay, so that you would know the sustainable I think you all might have basic understanding the definition of the sustainable development. That means simply um, development that meets the need of the present without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their uh, uh, compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their own need, improving life standard for all, better protected and manage ecosystem, a safer, more prosperous future. So you'll find that okay. And next point is development as regional disparities. Okay, and regional disparities is sometimes it is because of natural factor, and other time sometimes because of this policy decision matter of the because of the policy decision of the government. Okay, it is natural that every region may not have equal distribution of all the natural resources that is essential for um, making people economically uh, well off. That we needed resources, mineral resources for industrialization. We needed good soil, fertile soil to sustain our food security, etc., which is not always equally distributed. Okay, in that scenario, the area where there are huge natural resources, like it's starting from soil, or sea, or mineral resources, that area is bound to experience huge economic advantage. And the other thing is that communication in present world, without communication, where it, a particular location may have huge resources, if it is not well connected, then that there is no use of having so much resources. Okay, so connectivity is also very important, and that means if the particular region, particular town is in a good particular town is located in a place where has good connectivity, good education, educated mass people, and it has good climatic condition, then it is bound to grow exponentially. Okay, and in India's west coast, okay, like in Maharashtra and Gujarat, why it is experiencing huge development because of its communication. Because in one side it has sea communication facilities. Okay, through sea one can transport high volume of commodities in a cheaper price. Secondly, throughout the year it has a balanced temperature. Okay, 35 maximum temperature. Okay, under that temperature, one could a particular individuals. Okay, labor capability is good. Okay, a particular person cannot work in a harsh condition, like when it is weather condition, chilling condition, like in Jammu and Kashmir, or when the temperature is 50 degree. Under that condition, nobody can work efficiently. Okay, so these things are because of these natural resources, the unequal distribution of natural resources, and in a climate, climate factor, education standard, etc. You know, its development and original, you would find some of the disparities in case of development. Then, um, okay, development and regional disparity in India, you would see the coastal area are relatively advanced in comparison to hinterland. Resources, connectivity, market leader development, remoteness of Northeast Asia, area in India is less developed because of its remoteness. And other thing is then colonial impact. Okay, many of the major cities in India, like Mumbai, be it Mumbai or Kolkata or Chennai. Okay, these cities are developed by colonial forces. Okay, so because of its uh, colonial legacy and colonial era development process. Okay, that area are going to have more advanced kind of situation in every sense. Okay, then that is how we conclude the unit 9. Let's move to unit 10. The unit 10, agrarian transformation and land reforms. Okay, so land is very much essential for livelihood or for building our um, resting place. Okay, without land, almost all major war. Okay, even today the tussle between China and India is because of land dispute. Okay, so land is very much essential for today. Even tomorrow, it would have the same significance. Even you all know about the mythology of Mahabharata, which started because of those land dispute. Okay, we have a very emotional attachment uh, for the land. Okay, so independence, prior to independence, what is the situation? The many of the British under the territory under British India were on the occupation of the zamindars. Okay, zamindar, they had the responsibility to look after the granted area, grant land area to them, and in return they would they would incur revenue from the royals or the farmers community who till in their land, and keeping some portion of the revenue they generate from farmers, they would give some other, some share of that revenue to the British. That was the situation. Once we attain independence. Okay, so there were demand from various corners to abolish the zamindari system in India, and government of India needed land to expand its developmental work. Okay, for the construction of roads, building up of industries, or building building dams. Okay, to check flooding, etc. So their government needed something, to have hold on land. Okay, considering the property was a fundamental right, but realizing the problems. Okay, right to property, or land is a property, and when government wanted to snatch it for development uh, purpose for from the zamindar or some other went to the court. Okay, and dispute arise. Under that situation, it was decided, the government decided to abolish the right to property as a fundamental rights. And also, there were in India who were always subject to exploitation by the zamindar. Okay, and there are also huge demand from the people that these these sort of problems should be sorted out by the government. Okay, and many of the states, things like state like UP, MP, Bihar, Madras state. Okay, then the Madras state. Okay, what do you called in Chennai? Okay, earlier it was called Madras. Okay, and under Madras state there are like Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, uh, Kerala. They're coming together. Okay, so in those area, yeah, zamindari abolition was taken place, and the distribution of land was carried on in order to get the right, in order to provide land holding right of the tilling community or the farmer community. Okay, even to ensure those things, okay, in many states, okay, they introduced the land ceiling. Okay, land ceiling means a particular individual cannot keep land, quantity of land, okay, beyond that limit. Okay, for say, um, mm, 100, for for example, a particular uh, uh, if government has the land ceiling of maximum 100 acre for a family, then that the remaining quantity of the land to given it to the government pool for its redistribution. That happens. Okay, and in early 60s. Okay, there are so many Andolan, popular Andolan of Buddha movement, launched by Binoba Bhave, whose motive was to persuade the Jamindar all over India to give excess land holding to the landless population in our country. Okay, somehow he was very much successful in his activity, in his initiative. Green Revolution, it is a very large contribution, making India food sufficient. India used to procure countries, okay, many of the foreign countries. We are mostly dependent on, okay, India used to procure wheat, wheat और जो हिंदी में गेहूं कहते हैं, okay, गेहूं कहाँ से? ये ब्राजील, अमेरिका, ऑस्ट्रेलिया से, इस all this thing we used to import those wheat from those countries. And for rice or chawal, we used to import from even our neighboring country, small country, Myanmar. Okay, that was the situation. And we then our agricultural system was not that much developed. Okay, so under that pressing situation to feed our hungry population, we used to import huge food amount, such as wheat and rice from other countries. Okay, so that was not a very good position. Okay, and it was very much embarrassing kind of thing for India being a large country and a leader in international forums such as in NAM, non-aligned movement, which is a leader, and India having a large democracy and territorial size, etc. It was not well taken by our leadership to procure or request some foreign countries to send our basic necessities. Okay, realizing this thing, um, in Nehru introduced these things to Green Revolution, and through that, the objective was to uh, somehow to improve the uh, food production. Okay, and successfully it was conducted through the introduction of high yielding variety seeds. Okay, high yielding variety seeds, and introduction of fertilizer, pesticides, etc. Okay, and you all might have heard that 20-year back or 30-year back, the amount, the quantity of paddy or any wheat, the per acre production of wheat or paddy has double or triple in comparison to 30-year back. Okay, now, so that is the result of the green revolution, because of the uh, advanced agricultural technology, advanced seed, advanced fertilizer, etc. That it become, we could be, grow more crop and um, better crops. That is things. Okay, and what is the result of those things? Okay, thing is that once through the introduction of this high yielding variety of seeds and technology into agriculture, now we are a food surplus country, isn't so? Now we are supporting many countries through our export of food items. Okay, it may be wheat or it may be rice. Okay, worldwide, our basmati rice is very popular. Okay, well demanded by um, Western countries, even Middle Eastern countries. And for wheat, okay, countries like Arabic countries, Gulf region countries, even African countries. Okay, they they import wheat, surplus wheat, from our countries, and it happen. It give a very good picture for India. Okay, then that the impact of this agrarian, you know, the agrarian land reform. Okay, because of this land reform, many transformation happen in India. First thing, the income capability, income that increase. Okay, and as income increase, okay, people, particularly the in northern India, mm, be it northern India or southern India, many of the farming communities or dominant farming caste, they prosper as they prosper. Okay, through farming societies and farming association. Okay, first thing, they establish linkage with the government to give them good return for their crops, etc. But later on, with more power, economic power came to them, with more organizational capability, more linkages, they started to play role in Indian politics. Okay, you see how Jat are dominant in the politics of Haryana, Punjab, and Yadav has a strong political hold in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar. Ludha has also a community in Uttar Pradesh. They are also Kalyan Singh, then the chief minister, who happens to be Ludha leader. Okay, the Gujars are also widely, spread out in the state of Haryana.
Excuse me, sir.
Rajasthan. Okay. Yes,
Excuse me,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, slide is not visible to many students. So some of them are complaining also. So you can click on present now again.
Okay, sir. I'm doing
Okay.
it. Uh,
ଆକ୍ଚୁଆଲି କିଛି ପିଲା ମଝିରେ ପ୍ରେଜେଣ୍ଟ ନାଓ ବଟନରେ କ୍ଲିକ୍ କରିଦେଉଛନ୍ତି ମନକୁ, ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଡିଷ୍ଟର୍ବାନ୍ସ ହେଇଯାଉଛି।
ଆଜ୍ଞା ସାର୍, ହଉ ସାର୍ ମୁଁ ଦେଖୁଛି ପୁଣି।
ଆପଣ ଆଉ ଥରେ ଟିକେ ପ୍ରେଜେଣ୍ଟ ନାଓ କ୍ଲିକ୍ କରନ୍ତୁ।
ଆଜ୍ଞା ସାର୍। Presentation. Present.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Okay.
is it okay, sir?
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So I was discussing how with the economic prosperity through agricultural transformation, how many of the caste communities they are taking stake. They are demanding stake in politics, means state politics. Okay, so you would see the stronghold of Reddy communities hold in Andhra Pradesh politics. Okay, similarly, Lingayats or Bukalinga, they have the strong hold in Karnataka politics. Okay, now the chief minister of Karnataka is a Lingayat. He's because of his support from Lingayat community, he was given the chief ministership. Similarly, uh, Maharashtra politics cannot ignore the voice of Marathas. Okay, and the Patil. They are the Maratha communities. Okay, many times uh, they have the stronghold in politics of Maharashtra. Okay, these are the things. These are the communities. Because of agrarian transformation and land reform process, these communities came into forefront and even into state politics. They are having strong hold in state politics. And in the era of coalition politics, when the national political parties they form government in order to form government at the center in a multi-party system, they align with they form alliance with the regional parties. Okay, and through these alliances, these regional parties or these particularly these caste groups, okay, dominant farming communities group are taking part in the policy decision making. Okay, so even they sometimes they force government to take policy decision in the interest of those communities. Now let's moving to industry and labor. That is unit 11, industry and labor. Okay. For the development of any nation, industry is essential. Industry without setting up industry, we cannot think of production. Okay, it could be okay. And industry, as you know, industry could be a service sector for industry, or it could be a manufacturing sector. Okay, manufacturing sector, all these products, they produce things starting from um, mm, steel or any computer for the computer or anything or our daily toiletries or any construction materials which are essential, okay, for the building. Okay. So first thing is that for industry is essential for the economic development, and second thing is that when industry come, it gives livelihood opportunity for the people nearby and people from far off as well. Okay, so you know as I discussed how lakhs of people they went to Gujarat or Chennai or Delhi or some other metropolis. Okay, they came back because of this pandemic. Why they went there? Because they in those areas, okay, in Maharashtra or in maybe Gujarat or in Chennai or in Delhi, they have the um, industry. Okay, they have the industry center, okay, where there are present huge potential to provide labor employment opportunities, okay. So just to seek livelihood or just to get employed, okay, and many people are not um, well equipped well equipped to do industry or do business, okay. In many cases they choose to be employed as a worker or labor, okay. So to these metropolis and these industrial cities, they give them employment facility, okay. So but thing is that how the term and condition of their employment is just a major concern for everybody, because sometimes suppose after your completion of your education you would be seeking some employment opportunity, definitely. And it is possible, and it is possibilities that somebody would exploit you, okay, your potential, and may not give you proportionate income to you, okay. In that scenario, uh, which is inhuman or obviously inhuman, and you would seek better compensation for your service to the industry where you are working. So uh, considering these things, okay, many labor laws also came about, okay. There are international organizations such as International Labor Organization who are working all over world, okay, in close coordination with all the independent sovereign countries, okay. So that they're ensuring that labor are better paid and their life and working condition are well taken care of, okay. So that is most condition in international when it comes to exporting something, okay. The people from or policymaker from advanced countries, they see that the produce they want to import from a particular country are um, produced in a systematic and a fair way, okay. So that was the situation of uh, these are the system which want to establish a level field all over the world, okay. All over the world labor should be uh, equal place and equally protected. And now when it comes to India, so initially we focused in the plan economy that was that 5 year plan economy, or we call it the Panchvarshya Yojana that Nehru launched, okay. Initially it was focused on um, uh, ensuring food self sufficiency, then establishing mega industries, okay, like because of those 5 year plan, and along with the agriculture also government focused on um, setting up industries, okay, nationalized industries. So the main objective was to uh, I mean, give India's unemployed population for employment opportunities. Second, to increase our uh, national income, and to enhance our image in international forum, and reduce our dependency from other countries. These are the main objective by then. Okay. Similarly, so considering things, okay, later on, um though government focused on setting up uh, huge industries, also government also provide some of the some opportunity for the private sector to go side by side. Okay. Resultantly, though we have cell steel authority of India Limited was set up to produce steel. Okay. At the same time, government also allow the private player like Tata or Birla or some other industry bodies. Okay, to come up. Hmm. So that means the government of India follow a mixed type of mixed economic policy. That means where both a private player as well as public or the government player can work and can set up industries and they can take part in production and distribution process. And as you know, essential basic ingredients of production, of course, is that is the labor. Okay, without labor is nothing. Okay, nothing can be done. So in order to ensure um, labor welfare, okay, many of the ensured labor protection, labor welfare, many of the steps are also undertaken by the central government as well as the state government. Okay, so you know, uh, employing a children, if children below 14 year in any hazard kind of work is a punishable offense. Okay, that was because the consideration that uh, the children should be okay when somebody goes for earning livelihood, uh, its health and well-being should be taken care by the state. Okay, and minimum wage minimum wage rate and the maximum working hour that are also that are also fixed by the governments. Okay, and in order to settle the dispute between the industry, labor and industry, etc. So there are also uh, scope, um, you know, court, court and tribunal also set up to look into the interest of labor communities and to resolve the dispute between labor and industries. Okay, and apart from that, also we have the apex courts such as High Court and Supreme Court. Also, they have the authority, they have the jurisdiction to look into these matters. Okay, and you must be or you all must be happy to join in a public sector industry or public sector directly in government. uh, the thing is that that scope is reducing day by day. Okay, now even the government is trying to introduce more focused government is focused on privatizing those loss making enterprises in India instead of making them profitable in any way. So, as the trend is in privatization direction, so um, the many of the private companies, okay, when they comes to set up their industries or when they want to acquire the public enterprises, okay, they come up with their own policies, which may not be beneficial for the interest of the labor. Okay, supposing, for example, one um, Air India. Okay, Air India is loss-making enterprises in India. Okay, when many companies come, okay, government want to sell it to private bodies. Okay, as the private bodies come, they come with the proposal that okay, we are ready to take the company minus its labor. Okay, as industry are when the public sector industries are being privatized through systematic disinvestment policies. Okay, um, so those who take over these industries, they want to run the company according to their own policies, and there they are the labor who are already working in the industries. Okay, they are being victimized, or they are being in a disadvantaged position because their interests are in a dangerous situation or in a jeopardy situation. Then globalization unit 12. Okay, that is globalization and liberalization and its implication for state politics. Okay, globalization, you understand, globalization is a process of interconnectedness, interconnectedness of people from one country to with other countries, or with interconnectedness of people of one country with the rest of the world, or a particular country or rest of the world. Okay, the globalization has facilitated, okay, uh, speed. Some of the actor of the globalization is like speed communication. Okay, speed telecommunication, speed rail communication, and speed air transportation. Okay, you know today we are suffering from, the entire global community is suffering from corona pandemic. It is a contribution of globalization, isn't so? Imagine if there were no transportation facilities, air transportation community facilities between China and the rest of the world, then now the world could have been in a safer position, isn't so? Hmm. Because because of this thing, communication, speed communication, and it when globalization is a blessing for some people, okay, it is also, it has also, it came as a what can disadvantages for blessing or curse. Okay, it come as a curse for many of the people around the world. Okay, so that is happening. Okay, so and globalization of India. India was, India's globalization. Just a few ideas I would give for how India. Okay, um, in the area of globalization, what is the position of India? Okay, so you know why European came to India, or why people from Middle East or Arab countries, they raid India often, because because of its huge resources. Okay, particularly um, the the spices. Okay, spices in which are produced in Malabar coast or in Kerala are well demanded by the European countries. Okay, so they want it dearly. So that is why they venture. The European came to Europe, those Malabar coast for those things, and later on they come as a trader seeking economic activity. Story. Okay, that is how our global connection established. Okay, in post-independent period, in post-independent period, as Nehru introduced this mixed economic policy and industrial policy. In many cases, what happened, and in Nehru's Nehru's idea of socialistic pattern of economic policy give a protection. Okay, protect that industrial environment was termed as a protectionism. Protect environment, protect economic environment. Major focus was on to give more priorities to the public sector enterprises, which were not performing efficiently, not performing efficiently. Since industrial production was not that much profitable, and we also that time we many challenges. Okay, face India challenge faces many challenges from external aggression. Okay, We fought war with China. We fought India fought war with Pakistan. Okay, so all those things accumulated problem, destabilize economic health of India. Resultantly, uh, we face major challenges of meeting the need of our import from other countries. Okay, one thing, can you imagine a day without petrol? Simply not. Okay, petrol is everything. What you eat, it has petrol. Okay, rule of petrol. The petrol is petrol, petrochemical. Also, the petrol, diesel, kerosene, all its byproducts. Okay, so many products. And for medicine, medicine are also produced somewhere from these petrochemicals. Okay, and those chemical petrochemicals are very much essential for sustaining, for making our life easier. Okay, and for which we are mostly dependent on Middle Eastern countries, the Gulf countries. Okay, so when we import something from other countries, we have to give them back on. हमें भी कुछ देना होगा. Then okay, in return we have to give them money. Okay, the money in international market or international level that is acceptable is dollar. Okay, not Indian currency. No country, not all countries agree to do business in term of our rupee. So the only global standard well accepted is that is United States of America's dollar. It's a global standard for conducting international trade. Okay, so in 1990s we faced major problem. Okay, our import are much more than what we export to other countries. Okay, so resultantly in a accumulated problem by early 1991, we are in a situation, we are in a debt trap. India was in a debt trap. Okay, and we face a major balance of payment crisis. Okay, so nobody would do trade or any transaction only if your balance of payment is not fair. Okay, under that compelling situation. Okay, then the prime minister P.V. Narasimha Rao. Okay, P.V. Narasimha Rao um, went to IMF. Okay, IMF, International Monetary Fund. Okay, for a bailout package. Okay, and the thing is that when any country goes to International Monetary Fund for financial assistance or financial loan, okay, so they compel those countries to adapt to the policies. Okay, that is some specific policies that IMF has that need to be abide by the country who want financial assistance from IMF. Okay, the policy that is called structural adjustment program. Structural adjustment program. Okay, through which basically they want the countries to reduce their spending on non-profiteering areas. Okay. Supposing government spending on education, government spending on education. Okay. Government spend huge money on education. Immediately, does government get no? Immediately, government don't get huge money from education. Simply, government spend money on health sector. Okay, health is a basic basic thing. Health facility, without health facilities many people would when some countries goes to IMF on public spending. Okay, they asked the countries to cut down the public spending. Okay, so under that compelling scenario, and also government of India would open up its border for international trade. Okay, that by then international player cannot actively take part in the production process or in distribution process. Okay, and as through economic reform. Okay, then when the prime minister was PV Narasimha Rao, then the finance minister under PV Narasimha Rao was our prime minister, late prime minister, ex prime minister, Mr. Manmohan Singh. Okay, he successfully. Many people, many intellectuals consider he happens to be the most successful finance minister to bring India on the right track. Okay, through all the reform measure he took, both Manmohan Singh and Narasimha Rao they took. Okay, it changed the economic scenario of India. Okay, resultantly, as India open up its border for foreign direct investment and brought changes in its labor laws and environment ecological laws which concerning for the which are responsible which is essential for industrial setup. Okay, so now India became India came up with become a more attractive destination for foreign direct investment. Okay, initially many of the yeah. Okay, one thing I want to add is that in 92 India launched India's low-cost policy. Hmm, low-cost policy, which was addressing to the countries in our eastern direction of India. Okay, that is the countries of Southeast countries, and Japan, etc. Japan, Korea, Taiwan, these countries. Okay, India saw the by the early 90s, those countries are experiencing huge economic growth. Okay, and in through liberal after the liberalization process and the economic mm, change of economic policies, India wanted to attract the enterprises and investment from low-cost area, Southeast Asia and East Asia. Okay, that was the thing. That was the ambition of um, the low-cost policy. And apart from the eastern countries, okay, Western countries also like Western European countries and America also, they saw the new advantage in India. Okay, so they also started to invest, use capital in India and economic strength of India. Economy got new strength. Okay, resultantly, um, as economic activities improve, it also gave employment opportunities, and it also gave boost to the service sector industries. Okay, resultantly, a new middle class emerged in Indian society. Okay, so that is emergence of new middle class society in India and economic strength in India is result of the systematic or economic um, um, policy changes, economic structural adjustment of the Indian economy in post 1991 period. Okay, as economic development grows, okay, growth taken place, industrialization happen. Okay, many challenges also came with this economic development. Okay, so industrialization, displacement, okay, displacement of people. Supposing whenever we go to set up an industry, we need to develop that area, acquire that area, and develop that area. Okay, there might be there is India is a densely populated country. Okay, wherever you go, you would find somebody settling there. Okay, so in order to do some business industry, you need to uh, drag them out. Okay, through allurement or through government. Okay, government forceful measure that happens. So this displacement is closely um, interlinked to foreign direct investment. Okay, in many part of India, you would see many special economic zone (SCJ) or special economic zone came up. Okay, where countries or industry enterprises from other country they can they can do business or they can produce and they can do all sort of economic activities uh, outside away from the India or restriction, okay, or unnecessary restriction from government of India. Okay, those countries are considered as the extraterritoriality um, kind of thing. Okay, though they are within the country, but some of the laws are applicable to them. Under that situation, they can do also economic activities. Okay, so uh, the globalization and the liberalization also um, gave huge kind of create huge kind of social tension within our country, within our society. And as the industrialization, as the globalization and liberalization facilitated the establishment of new industries um, um, and rule of as it enhanced gave the impulse to for foreign direct investment and foreign transnational corporations. Okay, transnational corporation or those corporation or those business houses who have production, distribution. Okay, more than one country. Okay, so those enterprises are now having uh, stake in politics. Okay, sometimes they they collide with the politician, and they want to make this politician specific laws which is favorable for their economic interest. That is happening. Okay, that means now because of this globalization and liberalization process, many of the state first thing is that state is losing hold its hold uh, in the process of production and distribution, and secondly through the backdoor entry of this multinational corporation or business interest. Now they are they are successfully they are making laws which may not be of mass public interest, but they are doing such thing. Okay, so that is how um, uh, they are weakening the political system. Okay, then the side effect of globalization and liberalization is that I discussed, that is when the able or those who are capable to um, get the benefit of this liberalization process, they are getting richer and richer, and those who are not that much able, they are getting poorer and poorer. Okay, that means our society experience economic division. This gap is widening day by day, and eh, so India is a country where you would find it has largest number of um, billionaires. Okay, and also largest number of people who are living. below the poverty lines. Okay, that is the scenario as of now you would know. Okay, so next moving to Mhm. Okay, then next unit 13. Okay, that is interested dispute. Okay, water interested dispute on water and territorial boundaries. Okay, a river or water. Water is very much essential. Okay, we cannot imagine life without water. Water for our drinking, water for generating electricity, or maybe for our agricultural process. Okay, every for all these things we need water. And in India, we have a peculiar situation where some of the areas who receive huge rainfall, other area experience drought kind of situation. And we have the largest river who come across, okay, who run in multiple states. And when a particular river is run on what it cross over many states, okay, their tension arise with the all the river basin state and its downstream state over the sharing of the waters. Okay, that is happening. Okay, particularly often you find it in the news that the Kaveri water dispute or the water related dispute between between Odisha and Chhattisgarh, even Odisha and Andhra Pradesh. Okay, Mahanadi water Mahanadi water dispute on Mahanadi water distribution. Okay, even Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, we have a history of dispute between the state on sharing water. Okay, even in North India, there is also conflict between Punjab and Haryana, even Delhi sharing river water, between Satluj and so water-related dispute is not a new thing in India, and in order to resolve these kinds, water-related problem, we have, mm, there are so many mechanisms that has been evolved to address the water dispute in India. Okay, the river tribunal that has been evolved in order to look into these dispute and mm, also apart from the river tribunal there are also Supreme Court and High Court, particularly Supreme Court, um, Padmanabh, also Supreme Court who has also original jurisdiction to to uh, resolve the dispute. Okay, inter river dispute. Okay, these are the things. That's okay. And then the boundary issues. Okay, like water, there are also claim over the territory. Okay, there is also class between the bordering state over a particular area, which is peculiar. You would find often in news, Odisha, Bengal fighting for some of the villages. Okay, when Odisha claimed that particular village is comes under our area, also West Bengal government also claimed that that village is also under the jurisdiction of West Bengal, and the same thing also happened in in Odisha particularly, in the district of Malkangiri and Koraput, you would see people, they are confused. They are from which state? Okay, sometimes they also get the benefit from West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, and also people from administration of Odisha also provide some of the ration card or some identity card, making them or declaring them the people from Odisha. Okay, so that is a common thing, common practice that is happening in our um, almost. Okay, you would see the peculiar thing is that uh, in the state of Karnataka, in the state of Karnataka, there is one area is called Belgaum. Okay, who is the people are predominantly Maratha people who are living there over centuries. Okay, though culturally and there are Maratha people still, they are surrounded by Karnataka. So okay, though they are residing within the territory of Karnataka, they have allegiance towards the Maharashtra and Maharashtra culture. Okay, and Maharashtra claim uh, that area to be a to as a Maharashtra area, which is Karnataka always negates. Okay, because it is a Karnataka territory with the Karnataka administration under the Karnataka administration. Okay, that is a ongoing process. There is no resolution. There is no resolution to this okay, in case of Belgaum or Andhra or in Bengal, always there is a tussle where one state territory ends and where others start. It is always ongoing tussle. There is no settlement about that. Okay, then moving to the as of unit 15, assertion of Dalit and backward caste. Okay, Dalit. Who are Dalits? Okay. Um, Dalit mostly it's the term Dalit. Okay, it got its prominence or its prominence in recent past. Okay, earlier, during colonial period or post-independent, pre-independent period. Okay, the lower caste, the so-called lower caste or untouchable. Okay, so-called untouchable. Um, okay, now they transform. They are politically they are more or less they are now consolidated because of the emergence of some of the caste politics, because of some emergence of some caste political parties. Okay, caste based political parties. Okay, so you would see the caste-based politics that emerge in post-independent India, particularly in northern state, even in western state. Okay, I mean Maharashtra. Okay, RPI, Republican Party of India, and some other also groups. Okay, in uh, mm, um, in the state of Uttar Pradesh. Okay, Uttar Pradesh, and this BSP, Bahujan Samaj Party, BSP, Bahujan Samaj Party. Okay. So under the leadership of Mayawati. Okay. So BSP. Okay, it has a wide BSP is a national party. Okay. It has wider presence in Rajasthan, Delhi, Uttar Pradesh. Okay. So, in the northern state. Okay, and Punjab as well. Okay, because of its wider presence, it is granted as a national party, status of a national party. So this, the emergence of Dalit, emergent Dalit politics or Dalit assertion of Dalit identity came following the particularly it came as a result of this social movements by many of the social and economic development, particularly in uh, before independence. You know how Ambedkar fought for the interest of the Dalit communities, and through his persistent struggle, he make it possible to give reservation to the Dalit in job sector or in employment education sectors. Okay, because of this, because of this access to education, because of the access to livelihood, political, some of the Dalit communities, okay, um, they came to the forefront. Okay, because of the because of this first thing, legal protection. Okay, untouchable is a punishable offense. Okay, constitutionally guaranteed right of the Dalit are constitutionally protected, and secondly, because of the reservation, etc., they are also now okay. They get scope of employment opportunity, also education. As because of these things, okay, they are okay, and now uh, some sort of they are now organized. Okay, so contrasting to the earlier times, okay, Dalit they're united, not to, some develop some sense of communality. Okay, Dalit from state north to south. Okay, there's some develop some communality, and because the globalization is also the cementing force that facilitate exchange of ideas between these communities. Okay, and resultantly to make heard voice of the Dalit communities, and also in order to tap these voices or in order to address the issues of the Dalits, so many political front they came up, like in the name of Bahujan Samajwadi Party, BSP. Okay, and similarly, you have the emergence of many backward caste, like um, backward class, like your rule of Yadav, Jat, and Gujjar. You cannot, and in North, um, even in South India, the rule of Naikar and other are significant one. Okay, they are having say in the politics. Okay, when it comes to electioneering. Okay, and you would see uh, no political party dare to ignore the caste equations. Okay, when it comes to filling up, or when it comes to distribution of ticket for election. Okay, in every, even be it a state-based state political party or national political party. Okay, when it comes to electioneering, okay, they consider every time they consider the caste equations. Okay, caste equations. So here caste remain to be a factor always in the state politics. Okay, so in the state, like backward caste, particularly in state of northern Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, their backward caste are having greater role in the decision in the politics. Okay, so the next is mm, linguistic and ethnic minorities and state politics. Okay. Okay. See how language remain to be a major factor in state politics. You heard about, you know about that, um, state of Gujarat. Okay. Earlier it was just Saurashtra. Okay. But you see how. Gujarat was constructed, or Gujarat was divided from Maharashtra because of its specific language identity. Similarly, um, similarly, uh, okay, Telugu speaking people, um, they separated. Okay, they demanded a separate state from the state of Madras. Okay, Madras and Tamil and the um, uh, Kannada speaking people. They also demanded their separation from the state of Madras. Okay, that was the basis. Okay, because of this linguistic identity, many of the states were formed even prior to India get its independence. Okay, the state of Odisha. Okay, it gets its state of Odisha get its uh, unique um, the state of Odisha, people from Odisha demanded demanded a special um, position in India. Okay, so in 1935, India got its unique status as a separate state from the state of Bihar because of its linguistic identity. So linguistic identity always remain a factor in when it comes to state politics, be it today or even in the past. Okay, even mm, in the state of Assam. Okay, Assam happens to be largest state in the state of Northeast. Okay, and subsequently by 70s, many of the states they demanded their separate statehood from Assam because of their linguistic as well as because of their cultural uniqueness. Uh, Even now, some of the state they are demanding separation from the existing state system, such as that the demand of a Gorkha land that they are demanding for a long time from the state of West Bengal. Okay, Gorkha, they are demanding separation from West Bengal because of their separate language, linguistic identity, and their ethnic identity. Okay, then their popular demand also they are in the state of Maharashtra where Vidarbha regions. Okay, in the central Nagpur area, people from Nagpur they are demanding unique political identity, statehood from the state of Maharashtra. Why they consider the Maharashtra is always dominated by the Maratha. Marathi speaking people and the people from the Marathwada region. Okay, so they considered their identity. People from Vidarbha region they considered because of their peculiar geographical location, because of their socio-ethnic uniqueness and cultural uniqueness, their linguistic mixed culture. Okay, they are different from the Marathi people, and they are demanding separate statehood from Maharashtra. So it is an ongoing process, and which cannot be, it is not possible to serve all interest of all the communities by granting them separate statehood in term of their linguistic identity and cultural identities. However, it is essential for all the states to look after the interest of linguistic minorities. Okay, supposing. Supposing can we can a particular state declare that people, supposing in Odisha, state Odisha, can our government of Odisha declare that all the people residing in Odisha, they have to carry on their business only in Odia medium or in Odia text? Is it possible? Simply not possible, because we are living in a democratic society. Okay, we have the freedom to do our matter according to our convenience. Okay, so while we are doing our business according to our convenience, okay, simply we are doing our business, or studying, or in English medium or in Hindi medium or any other medium, we are not hampering others. Okay, so here the state cannot dictate or compel somebody to follow a particular language. Okay, so that means when you are, the constitution is the basic rights, the fundamental rights to look after the interest of every state, has the moral as well as legal obligation, okay, to give protection to all the minorities, and everything, their language, their religion is concerned. State has to provide them ample scope to uh, mm, develop their unique identities and cultures. Okay, and states would not put any hindrance in the path of their um, mm, socio-economic or cultural identities. Okay. Then moving to unit 14, and then the ethnic minorities and politics. Okay, ethnic minorities in politics. Okay, and ethnic minorities, you would see the role of Anglo-Indians. Okay, though they are you know they are numerically very insignificant, still we, in order to ensure their participation in the government or policy decision, constitutionally provision has been made to give them representation. Similarly, um, the the polit the ethnic communities mostly in the state of, mostly in the tribal areas. Okay, in the state of northeastern. Okay, in Assam, in Meghalaya. Okay, where uh, mm, you know there are so many communities are living. Okay, but there are some rare groups. Okay, whose interest need to be looked after, and in order to ensure their well-being, government makes specific laws. Okay, specific provision where their interests are protected, where simply in the area of Naga Hill or Garo Hill, or some of the areas in Assam Valley, where you cannot, a person from mainland cannot go and settle there without any hindrance. That is not the case, because that area, the district council that has been set up there to look after the interest. You can go there with the permission, but you cannot do economic activities, or you cannot settle there. Okay, because this arrangement has been done through um, the collaborative effort or the mutual consensus of the state of India and the resident of that area. Even the same thing also, you would find some um, specific provision for the um, uh, tribal in the state of mm, Chhattisgarh, and um, mm, Schedule 5 and Schedule 6. Okay, Schedule 6 concerning to the people of northeastern state, and Schedule 5 uh, concerning administration concerning to the people in the tribal areas in other state, particularly in the state of Chhattisgarh and the Jharkhand. Okay, there. The ethnic minorities, they remain, they have their role in politics very prominent. Okay, they remain to be a factor in the politics of those states. Okay, then then Unit 17, State Autonomy and Movement in India. The autonomy movements, as in the autonomy movement is continuing. Okay, it's a continuous process starting from 1947 as India got its independence. Many of the state, okay, many of the many of the states, they wanted to maintain their autonomy. They didn't like to. They did choose to um, like like the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Initially, it wanted to stay away from either from Pakistan or India, but later on it merged with India with that is the Article 370 article of the Indian Constitution, which is no more valid as of now. Okay, so that is how they wanted to. They came to the Indian Union and with some of the condition that India government would give autonomy. Okay, they would have some sort of arrangement. They have some different, set of political system. They have specific laws to look after this thing, those citizens residing in those area, and they have also national flag. Okay, at a time they have the prime minister in Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, later on, but the situation changed, and as you know, as of now, it is the state of Jammu and Kashmir completely um, merged with India, and now it also is lost its statehood, and now is a union territory, Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. Okay, that is the happen. That is the okay, and also many of the state in northeastern state, okay, Sikkim and others, okay, though they wanted to join, okay, they join with the Indian Union, they have their reservation, okay, initially, but subsequently in the later year, they completely merged with India. And now the states are claiming, many of the states who are economically not that much well off, they are demanding um, autonomy when it comes to their economic or other issues. They demand autonomy from state. They consider it unnecessary infringement of central government is destabilizing their ways life. Okay, that is the recent thing. And then move to okay, Congress hegemony and okay, Congress hegemony. Okay, I discussed in the earlier chapter. I discussed about how Indian politics is termed as a one party hegemony system, and particularly Rajni Kothari described starting from 1947 to 1977 as a Congress hegemony system, because everywhere, be it in center or in the states, okay, everywhere Congress presence was predominant. Okay, that is the things. Then they came, then the Janta phase, Janta Dal. Okay, but it was not that much longer period. However, it came as a challenge to the um, dominating political position of Indira Gandhi. Okay, then came, okay, following Indira and Rajiv Gandhi, the Indian political system experienced a major transformation where one party dominance system turned into a multi-party system. Because of India's multi-party system, many of the regional political parties they emerged, and many of the caste-based political parties also emerged. Resultantly, no political party get absolute majority to form in the government, either in center or in states. Resultantly, just in order to get into position or get into offices of the government, okay, many like-minded political parties often choose to form a alliance, okay, with the common minimum program, okay, what to do, what not to do, that, sometimes it is pre-poll alliance, that alliance before election, and sometimes is post-poll alliance, okay, after election, okay. If if a political party or a alliance that is not in a position to form a government because of the lack of required majority, they can form alliance with like-minded political parties, and they can, after that they can stake claim to the offices, okay. That is the happening, that is a um, uh, day of life, that is the mm, everywhere, be it central politics, be it in central or in state politics, okay. In case of present government, this is NDA, National Democratic Alliance, okay, National Democratic Alliance. Before that, two term, before Narendra Modi came into power as a prime minister, um, you know, then the ruling alliance was called UPA, United Progressive Alliances, under the leadership of Congress political party. Congress party, whose leader was Manmohan Singh, and became prime minister. He served two-time prime minister. Okay, so be it state or be it in center, in everywhere, it's a competition situation where one or other political party, they want to get maximum out of the electoral politics, okay, and in order to do that, they form alliance with the like-minded, okay. Even some of the political parties, they do not have um, uh, any ideology, okay. Their main agenda is to get into power and get maximum benefit out of holding public offices, okay. We have left political parties, and we have right political parties. Left political parties, you would the communist political parties, and rightist political parties, okay, those based on religion, uh, background, okay, religion or religion background, okay. That is um, BJP or Shiv Sena or Akali. Even interestingly, Shiv Sena, okay, Shiv Sena happens to be part of NDA, okay, and Shiv Sena has the huge Hindu backing, okay. Demand to Shiv Sena claimed to be Hindu um, support base, okay. But thing is that now the currently the prime chief minister of Maharashtra is Uddhav Thackeray, uh, and who formed government with the uh, who formed a government in alliance with forming an alliance with the BJP, sorry, BJP, no, not BJP, the Congress and NCP, okay, against whom it fought election, okay. Congress and NCP, they are centrist parties, okay, and ideologically they are completely in a different phase, different phase with the um, uh, that is called Sipsana, okay. But things change, okay. But now in order to get and Sipsana and BJP, they had the historically they are the partner. Historically, they have the long-standing relations. Okay, in the form of in the matter of forming government, in the matter of jointly fighting election, etc. But as BJP could not agree to the term and condition, the ambition, as the Shiv Sena could not realize its ambition to be chief minister in Maharashtra, and BJP were very much adamant, not um, heading to its demand. So resultantly, Now the Shivsena chief is sidelined with its opposition. Okay, so the Congress, the centrist, okay, with whom they have ideological differences. So ये ऐसा है सिचुएशन कि अपना फायदा के लिए भी ये किस तरफ भी कुछ जो पॉलिटिकल पार्टियां हैं, जो छोटे छोटे पॉलिटिकल पार्टियां हैं, अपने फायदे के लिए किसी हद तक और किस साइड में भी जा सकते हैं. दैट इज द reality of India's politics today. So no party is in many cases, okay, no party is stick to their political ideology, and mostly political parties they are opportunistic. They only seek the they only want to realize their own interest, and other things are secondary to them. Okay, with that, I want to conclude, and you have, I think, I believe you must have downloaded the material which is available, and the sites. Okay. Apart from that, you may, for additional sources, there are so many open sources. You could download the resources from there to widen your, knowledge, and the question are also there. Okay, so you can find it useful, the pattern. In order to understand the pattern of question, you can go and visit, you can search this question. Okay, and the thing that for more academic article, for good a more academic article, you could search Google Scholar. Okay, it's a Google, Google site. Within Google site, say Google Scholar, type in Google Scholar, and you type what in any subject. Okay, any material you want, any title you want, you can put there, and you would find many of the academician and very good scholar they have given there. They have uploaded their documents or articles. You would find very much interesting or very much useful for your personal understanding. All those are very handy, and I think you can access those things, and you would get ready for your examination. Okay, so anything you would like to ask more or any clarification, you are welcome. Mr. Pallavi, Pankaj, Pallavi, any question? Rajalakshmi, anything you want to question? You can ask me in ଓଡ଼ିଆରେ ବି ପଚାରି ପାରନ୍ତି ବା ହିନ୍ଦୀରେ or in English, any alien language. Okay, so for any confirm any clarification or any discussion, I'm open. Okay, since there is no question, um, no kid from your side. So with that, I would like to conclude this. Have a good time and have a very good future. Be ready for your examinations. Sir, can you hear me? Sir, are you there? Thank you all. Thank you very much. Thank you, Suchismita. Thank you, Pratima.
Hello.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, is it over now?
Yes, sir. It's over.
Okay, students, if you have any query, you can ask. You
No,
have any
there.
query? No query. Students, if you have any query, you can write in chat box, or you may unmute your mic and ask directly. No doubt is there. ପିଲାମାନେ କାହାର କିଛି ଡାଉଟ୍ ନାହିଁ? ଯଦି କିଛି ଡାଉଟ୍ ଅଛି ତାହେଲେ ପଚାର. You can ask in English, Hindi or Odia. ନାଇଁ ଡାଉଟ୍ କିଛି? Yes. ପଚାର. Yes.
କିଏ ପଚାରିବେ ପଚାରନ୍ତୁ.